just that alone, just sifting through all the bullshit, is going to save you the time that you can spend finding and working with people who are serious.
Yeah.
And I think that difference alone should easily equate to an extra like 20% in business just the next year, just by not working with time wasters. What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I'm here with the one and only, the Jeff Wybo.
Hey guys.
And you may have seen the video I made with him a few months ago, how he sold $100,000 his first year as a real estate agent. Now he's on his second year in real estate, about to hit, how much, $200,000?
$200,000.
Cool. So we're actually doing this spur of the moment, like we had nothing prepared.
Yeah.
We're using our phones basically to record audio on a GoPro. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I like the spur of the momentness of a lot of the videos I make, so we're just going to wing it. I want to talk about, I guess, more advanced things about what took you from 100 to 200,000. Like, you doubled your sales volume in your second year, and most agents, by the way, would barely even hit, like, I don't know, 80,000, maybe even that their second year. So what do you think took you from 100,000 to 200,000?
It definitely still was the first year's work, which helped in the second years of work. It made it easier almost. It was all the prospecting and all the things I was doing. My first 6 months making that 100K wasn't very good. It took me a while. Then the checks started rolling in. So a lot of business had to happen. First, I had to like figure out what worked for me, and then some of you guys may have seen I do a limo tour, the Wybo limo tour, which is taking investors around. I have 20 investors. We go around on a limo, and that just started building clients for me. And then you like this? I said I get a lot of "Hey Jeff" emails, and it's or texts, and it's "Hey Jeff, can you sell my grandma's house?" or "Hey Jeff, can you show me this 10-plex?" And that's all the branding I did in my first year, which made my second year so much more easier because of all that in the first year.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. It's from my experience, the results don't usually pay off until 6 to 12 months later. So if you're hustling today, right now, you're not going to see the results a week from now, or maybe a month from now.
And how many new agents are asking us, like, "Oh, what can I do?" Or "I'm in my first month." Like, it sucks in your first month, right? You got to do everything, and there's no paycheck coming for a while, right?
Yeah.
But every day be doing something, because then you get to that 6 months part and maybe start getting some sales. And then in your second year, it's all that stuff you did in the first 6 months of the first year.
It really is.
So,
you know, it's almost similar to going to the gym.
Yeah.
And that if you work out really hard for the first few months, chances are you're not going to see a lot of difference until maybe 6 months in. And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're like, whoa, you know, I got them gains now. So that, I think, is very similar to real estate.
True.
So the work you're putting in now, think of that as something that's going to pay off a year from now.
Yeah.
Or like
it's not
6 months from
get
now.
rich quick.
And the other thing I think too, I was talking to Miles about this, is that there's always something to do. I like how you mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
There's never should be a reason how you go to the office, and even if you don't have any clients, you shouldn't be bored. I think there's always something you could be doing that's going to be helping you. So, for instance, you can get to the office if you have nothing to do all day. You maybe tried a little prospecting. Look over the contracts. Like, memorize all of those contracts. You can memorize all the purchase agreements, the lease agreements, disclosures. You can even memorize streets. You can memorize, I might scrape. No, I didn't scrape here. You can memorize like street names. You can memorize which homes are selling, what's being listed, what's sold. What are your thoughts?
What I do when I have nothing going on, we market differently, but like what I market a lot off my Instagram. I will make like little ads or something that I can put in the stories on Instagram, and then like shoot it out to the city I'm in with the geotag. And it's just like you could be sitting on the couch watching your sports game, whatever you want to do, and you can still get marketing out there, and then people respond to me, and I'll always have like deals like 4-plexes I know about or 10-plexes, and I'll just tease it on the internet being like 10-plex, making this much money, contact me. And then all of a sudden my DMs are getting hit up with that, and I've just created business. But you know, obviously that was because I've done a lot of other work, but every day I can be doing something. So many agents, even in my office, I got nothing to do. I'm like, I can't believe you have nothing to do. Do a blog post, start a YouTube channel, always be doing something to put yourself different. Like, I have limo tours, and this year, now I'm starting my YouTube channel, and then Matt and I are working on other real estate projects. We're in LA today to learn more about real estate. We're just trying things every day, just something. So
what are you doing differently for the second year than the first?
I focused on getting listings rather than buyers, because back home in London this summer, a buyer, even at a high price range, you didn't want him or her because we were getting blown out of the water in multiple offers. So I quickly said, I need listings. So then I focused all my marketing on getting listings, and a lot of agents had no listings. Buyers were a dime a dozen this summer. So you got to really pay attention to what's going on. Here, it seems like for some of the properties that were sitting, it's more of a buyer's market maybe right now.
Yeah, in certain price ranges, I definitely think a buyer has the advantage because there's more supply. And when there's more supply, they have more leverage against some of the higher priced properties that they're buying.
Yeah, so definitely in my second year, I could just identify the cycles, because there's real estate cycles, guys. You got to really pay attention to them.
What about delegating out work?
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing I noticed you doing more now, is that Jeff is slowly crafting a team.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't need to be physically present all the time to go on listing appointments and things, that he has someone else.
So I'm getting so much leads for multifamily type properties. There are agents in my office with minimal clients because they're new. So I've been taking them and teaching them a bit what I expect out of if it was me doing the deal. And basically, guys, I'm consulting the deal and making half the money. So that's like leveraging my time, and I can spend more time focusing on different projects or bigger projects.
I mean, that's something I have yet to do, is really start delegating out. I mean, I've given deals to other colleagues in my office, and then helped guide them through them if they have any, difficulties. It's something I've yet to do.
My team, it's not really a team, is built out of necessity. I have too many leads. I cannot help out all my clients.
Yeah.
So I have to split listings and like delegate the time, but that's a different level maybe than the pace that happens here. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing 35 ends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of the clients that I work with I feel like they want me.
That's the problem.
And
then I'm building a brand of Jeff Wybo, and people want me. So I have to kind of work on that, like what I'm gonna do.
I guess you're right. You have to have that at some point, otherwise it's not sustainable.
You just can't grow.
Yeah.
So and then maybe you guys will be asking like, oh, you're gonna do 300 or double it, 400 in your next year, and like I got to really think about like what I'm gonna do.
I think you're gonna 10x it. I think you're gonna go from 200 to 2 mil.
But yeah, what I don't want to do is run around with this, doing the same thing to produce just a little bit better of a result.
Fast that was, but it was the speed limit.
I don't know. I want to come up with something bigger than just real estate transactions, commission checks. Like, I don't know, build a business or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's almost been for me, is that it loses a challenge. Mm-hmm. And then when you don't have that challenge anymore, you almost stop growing as a person because you got used to something, it becomes routine. And then you begin doing this, like, I hate to say, like, it sounds so terrible, but like here at least, I feel like I could do 20 million a year, but not be challenged. Like, you just kind of go through the same motions over and over and over again. And I think at a certain point, you got to change it up. And you got to focus on, growing whatever the next part of that business is.
Yeah. Like, what are you supposed to do? Beat it by 20 grand next year? Was that a good use of your year's time to just beat it by a little bit or fall short? I don't know. So I want to. That's why you got your channel, right?
Yeah. So what are you gonna do to let's say?
I know Matt and I have some stuff in the works. I think it's gonna be more turning it into a real estate business, not just agent. Very early in my career, so we'll see.
That's gonna be it. And what would be your advice for anybody watching? Because I'd say probably the majority of people haven't even started. Some people have started working as a realtor.
Because of the last video, I get a lot of DMs from you guys, and you're all asking, I just got my license, or I'm getting it next month or something, and like, good driving.
Yeah.
I always say, like, it goes back to do something, right? But start telling everyone you're going to be a realtor before you have that license, and then you might have a lead like waiting for you the moment you get your license. That like.
Well, what about for people who have already started? They'd say they're 6 to 12 months in.
If you could leverage your time like I did, like don't be so selfish. Give some of those leads away and take 50% and just coach them to a new kid in the office. Like, do you need to drive around the city and do every single deal? I get it when they want like your name and your face there. It's tough, but like the random sign calls, like you get a random sign call. Do you have to go to every single one? I don't know. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. That's something, by the way, like I'm not perfect either. I'm definitely working on that too. And I do think at some point you have to leverage to start to grow, because there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in the day that you have to go and work. And at a certain point, it's just you have to. Mm-hmm. So that's something I definitely got to work on that too. I mean, if I want to start scaling bigger, something I got to do.
So yeah, if you're already into this and yeah, you take a look at your business, if you can leverage it, great. Because yeah, your time is your most valuable asset, right? I got lucky because like I'm in investment properties. These guys buy multiple houses a year and then they just always come back to me. If you're just going to do residential, if you're brand new, they buy a house, they're probably not moving again for what, like 5 years, maybe? Like
I think so, the average is 7 to 8 years.
When you're brand new, don't copy the other realtor ahead of you who's been doing it for 20 years. You got to come up with 2017 stuff right now. That's what I think. So,
social media,
basically. And the investors, they just want deals, so they'll just keep coming back to you, and you can do 3 or 4 deals with them a year.
The other thing is that the second year you get better at sifting through the bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a big one, because their first year, you work with everybody. I had the video that I was working with this fake $40 million buyer, because I couldn't tell the difference between him and a real buyer. Your second year, the thing is you start getting burnt out by those people that aren't serious.
You know, I was like even entertaining this guy that wanted to like cut my commission in my first year. And then he wanted, you know, he just wanted to like use me as a puppet. And like he didn't know that, but like I'm like, I need the money, so I'll do anything, right? And now it would be like, just see you later, pal.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So just that alone, just sifting through all the bullshit, is going to save you the time that you can spend finding and working with people who are serious.
Yeah.
And I think that difference alone should easily equate to an extra like 20% in business just the next year, just by not working with time wasters and focusing your time on the people that are serious, that are ready to buy something or sell something now, who are realistic, and that you can actually work with. One other thing I forgot to mention too, in one of my last videos, but I feel like this is really important, is matching the style of your client. And just a recent example, I had a showing recently with, you know, some people that were younger, and I wore like a nice button-down shirt and like, you know, the sweater and all this sort of stuff. I didn't match them. Like that was not the look that they would really associate themselves with, is a clean buttoned-up look. And the next time I met up with them, I drove the car, the hoodie, a t-shirt, and like some sneakers. The difference was just almost immediate in the way that they were able to open up and relate, just because you matched them on their level. So if you have a client that is really conservative, suit and tie, it might be a better idea for you to be a little bit more conservative in the way you dress. If you have a client that's 19 years old and you know, is just t-shirt and shorts and whatever, it's not a bad idea for you to somewhat match that to a certain degree. And it's easier for them to relate to you at that point and see eye to eye on certain things. And I think they'll trust you more being able to relate to you. So that's...
Yeah, I like that. Second year as well, you're better at negotiating. Like, first year, you're like, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then second year, you're like, oh yeah, I've been in this situation before, no problem. I know we need to get our offer in quick. I know this has to happen, whatever. You feel the year a bit better. We can get you any deal. You just gotta listen to us, right? Yeah. And I'll only push my clients as much as they feel comfortable, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want them hating you because you pushed the wrong product upon them, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. You always have to leave it to them. I mean, it's always their decision at the end of the day. It's not yours. You're not getting the house. It's not your money.
We used to joke, do you want to offer on it or do you want to get it?
Given that, there's no reason why after your first year in real estate, just by getting better at negotiating, just by having your first year's work pay off, just by getting better at sifting through the bullshit, that, in my opinion, is almost double. Like, you could almost double your business just from those small things. And that's why it doesn't surprise me why you can go from 100 to 200. We're going to wrap this up, but here's the thing. You guys are going to help me out on this. Jeff really wants an Aston Martin, and I'm telling him he's got to get the Aston Martin Vantage. I think it would be a good car. So comment down below and tell Jeff he needs that Aston Martin Vantage. I'm thinking like a 2007, 2008. I think that's a good year. All right. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out Jeff's channel. Finally, he made a channel, and finally he's posting. So please go and show him some love. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and smash the notification bell, smash all the buttons, and just go through every comment and hit those, upvote those comments. That's Reddit, but like all the comments. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.
Thanks, guys.